While most women only tower over men when they choose a pair of extreme heels, others can do so in flats. You may have wished you were a few inches taller, but many of these giantesses would gladly shrink a couple. We'll introduce you to 10 unbelievably tall women you won't believe really exist. To see even more videos about incredible people, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more from the richest. Ekaterina Lysina. Ekaterina Lysina is a woman who has embraced her unique height and claims that God made her this way so that she could reach the stars. Actually, it seems more like Ekaterina wants to be a star herself since she's trying to become the world's tallest model. At 6 feet 9 inches tall, Ekaterina has been named the tallest woman in her native country of Russia. She once had a basketball career but has since retired to focus on joining the world of modeling. She also believes that at 52.4 inches, she has the longest legs in the world and looks forward to having an official measurement so that she can claim that title as well. Not one to shy away from the spotlight, Ekaterina has gathered a following of fans who love her Amazonian height. Her father, Victor Lysin, says that even as a newborn baby, his daughter had uncommonly long legs. When she was growing up, Ekaterina was occasionally bullied because of her unusual height, but soon realized that she had far more admirers than detractors. While she does still struggle to find clothes that fit, Ekaterina dreams of showing off her skills on the catwalk and has finally decided to fully embrace her height. Chase Kennedy. Ekaterina may claim that she has the longest legs in the world, but Chase Kennedy believes she has the longest legs in America. At 6 feet 5 inches tall, Chase has legs that measure 51 inches. Chase was also bullied due to her height, with other children calling her legs or giraffe. Realizing that her long legs and overall height gave her a huge advantage athletically, Chase finally embraced her body. Dating is hard enough for most people, but Chase felt awkward dating men too much shorter than her. Fortunately, she fell in love with Jason, who was a mere inch shorter than her. When she was a teenager, she was approached by many modeling agencies that were interested in her beautiful looks and extreme height. However, as she got older, they gradually stopped calling as her height had become a hindrance rather than an attraction. Chase visited many top modeling agencies who turned her away due to her height. Most agencies refuse to consider girls that are over 6 feet tall, and many have a cutoff of 5 feet 11 inches. Even buying clothes on her own is difficult, especially when it comes to selecting skirts and dresses. Holly Burt. A lot of women have seemingly arbitrary standards when it comes to the height of their romantic partners, but you would think once you get over 6 feet tall, you would relax that standard a bit. Well, although it severely limits her available dating pool, 6 feet 5 inch Holly Burt refuses to date men that are shorter than 6 feet 3 inches tall. It's Holly that currently holds the record for the longest legs in America that Chase Kennedy believes she can beat. Holly has the official longest legs, measuring 49.5 inches. Despite the height cutoff she requires of her boyfriend, she claims that living in Brooklyn, New York means that she meets a lot of handsome, tall men. The downside of living in the city means that public transportation is a bit of an issue. She attracts no shortage of attention when out in public and has to duck to get on the subway. When it comes to her professional life, she has dabbled in the world of modeling, even walking the catwalk during New York Fashion Week. She graduated from Parsons School of Design and also works as a graphic designer. Carolina Vels. Hailing from Germany, we have Carolina Vels, who stands 6 feet 9 inches tall and is thought to be the tallest woman in all of Germany. Her extreme height is the result of a condition known as gigantism. This means that her body overproduced growth hormones when she was a child, leaving her with an incredible stature as an adult. In Germany, she's quite popular and well known for her modeling work and is frequently referred to as Caro. Other supersized models try to avoid being photographed near objects or people that will emphasize their own height, but not Carolina. She's happy to pose near doorways that she would have to duck to get through or towering over other shorter people. Carolina is proud of her height as it helps her stand tall and stand out from the crowd. Her feet are a US women's size 15 and she needs to have shoes custom-made to accommodate them. Finding clothes that fit properly can be a challenge, but fortunately for Carolina, she works full-time as a tailor when she isn't modeling. She's a music enthusiast as well, and when people inevitably ask her if she plays basketball, she replies that she plays the trumpet instead. Heather Green. You may have seen some photos of Heather Green floating around the internet and thought they couldn't possibly be real. These are very real, unaltered photos, but they feature men and women who are rather short, and Heather herself is wearing incredible pairs of high heels. In reality, Heather is 6 feet 5.5 inches tall when she isn't wearing shoes. When she dons her favorite pair of heels, she's more like 7 feet 2 inches. Growing up, Heather was always the tallest student in her class, which caused the other kids to tease her. She reached her full height at the age of only 15, which made things incredibly difficult. However, around that time, Heather started to realize that being tall was what set her apart and made her stand out. She started to embrace what made her so unique, no matter what anyone else says. As an adult, Heather has no shortage of devoted followers who are entranced by her height. When it comes to things she enjoys, Heather has many hobbies, including interior design, skiing, painting, and water sports. It's time for our trivia question. Although she has since passed away, Sung Jin-lian is the tallest verified woman to have ever lived. In fact, there are only 16 people in all of history who reached anywhere near her height. Just how tall was she? We'll tell you at the end of our video. Uliana Semyonova. While many other tall women start out in sports before trying to make it in the modeling world, Uliana Semyonova was content to dominate the basketball court. During the 1970s and 1980s, she was the leading women's basketball player in the world. She is 7 feet 1 inch tall and was known for having the biggest feet ever in women's basketball. Maybe she stuck with basketball because she couldn't find heels to fit since she wore a US men's size 21 sneaker. Towering over your opponents is definitely helpful when it comes to the sport, but Uliana was technically skilled as well. When she was only 13 years old, she joined Riga, Latvia as a junior professional and went on to compete with the team for 22 years. With Uliana leading the way, the team won 15 Soviet championships, 4 USSR national tournaments, and won the European Cup 11 times. When playing for the USSR, Uliana also won 2 gold medals in the Olympics in the 1976 and 1980 games. Svetlana Pankratova. Although many others seek to win the title for themselves, Svetlana Pankratova is in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the woman with the longest legs in the world. Although she stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, 4 feet 4 inches of that height is all legs. Unsurprisingly, she was an incredible basketball player at one time. She played for Virginia Commonwealth University and set 2 school records that are still unbroken to this day. Nobody has blocked more shot in a season or in a career than Svetlana. Although she may no longer play ball, she's helping to train the next generation of up-and-coming basketball players. She's an assistant basketball coach for the George Mason High girls basketball team, the Mustangs. After some time living abroad, she has returned to Virginia and lives with her husband, Jack Gosnell. Although earning the record for world's longest legs seems like it would be pretty easy with legs like Svetlana's, it actually took her 6 years to achieve it. She was forced to carefully document her legs with the help of Guinness employees and says that she hopes nobody breaks it anytime soon. Carolyn Arthur. Carolyn Arthur isn't coming for Svetlana's world record, but she believes she has the longest legs in her home country of Australia. From hip to heel, her legs measure an astonishing 51.5 inches, making up about 69% of her 6 foot 2 inch frame. While her friends may sometimes be put off by the attention she garners when she's out and about in heels, Carolyn admits that she loves the attention and surprised glances she receives. Her height has been both an asset and a hindrance when it comes to her modeling career. Her legs have been featured in many advertisements for stockings and leggings, but other designers rejected her because of her unusual proportions. For a long time, Carolyn desperately wished to look like everyone else, but eventually she became comfortable standing out. Even her family is supportive of her height, with her mother-in-law sewing her clothes and her husband designing their home to have extra headroom and extra tall countertops. Although she and her husband are the same height, he claims that her hips are so much higher than his, forcing him to improve his posture in order to stand beside her. Ali Stolz. Many tall women report being called nicknames related to their height, but if you're going to receive a childhood nickname, Godzilla is at least a cool one. When she was a child, her peers called her Godzilla because of the way she towered over them. But now, at 6 feet 9 inches tall, Ali Stolz is confident in her height. After being head and shoulders above her peers growing up, she reached her peak height in high school. The constant bullying gave her intense anxiety, but Ali claimed it made her a stronger person overall. Nowadays, her chief complaint about her size is how difficult it is to find clothing that fits. She wears a US women's 16 shoe, and most dresses are short enough to be shirts on her. The mere act of finding pants that fit in a store is nothing less than a miracle to Ali. Although she dabbled in modeling, she found the work ultimately unfulfilling. During one photo shoot, she toppled over trying to lift up a 190-pound man while wearing heels, and Ali decided enough was enough. We can't say we blame her for that. Instead, she's chosen to focus on creating her own artistic career. Marva Anderson. While other teens were hoping for a growth spurt, Marva Anderson was being proclaimed the tallest teenage girl in the world. She stands 6 feet 11 inches tall and is best known by her childhood nickname Bubbles. Growing up in rural Jamaica was a challenge for Bubbles, and she and her siblings struggled to attend school regularly. Once she reached high school, she wanted to use her height to her advantage on the basketball court, but sadly, there was no girls' team. Instead, she focused on the sport of netball, where her height made her a star. She began to attract a lot of attention because of her unusual height and her incredible athletic ability. Once she became well known, she was offered a scholarship to come to America and play basketball at Rutgers Preparatory School in New Jersey. Learning both a new sport and a new language was exceptionally difficult for Bubbles, who also had to cope with feeling homesick. Although she was recruited by a college eager to have her on their basketball team, she ended up tearing her ACL, and doctors advised her to retire from the sport for good. Now she coaches instead, helping other girls play the sport that she herself misses dearly. Do you know how tall Tsung Chinlian, the world's tallest woman, was? She reached an ultimate height of 8 feet 1.75 inches tall, making her one of only 16 people to ever reach 8 feet or more in height. Do you think you could beat any of these women in a basketball game? It's hard not to be fascinated by seeing just how tall some people can really be. But please remember to resist asking tall people how the weather is up there and if they play basketball. Before you head out, be sure to check out The Riches for more awesome content and subscribe to our channel as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.